Music Access. Today is Ipdong, one of the traditional seasonal divisions in Korea that tell us it's the beginning of winter. So in other words, it means it's going to get cold. Yay, Frozen. Yay, Elsa. Yay, Olaf. Let it go. Have you seen the movie? It's about a curse and siblings fighting and snow and monsters and ice castles and, singing and stuff like that. But, we're not young enough so we get confused between reality and what goes into movies, right? I mean, no one's gonna sing and make an ice castle in Seoul, right? I hope they do. But there's one thing that I do want to see. I want to see marvelous snow and a winter wonderland, just like in the movie Frozen. And I also want to see a happy ending and good things happening to good people, just like in the movies. You think this is a hopeless dream? I guess we'll have to find out for our November and for our winter wonderland. The first song you heard today, Sunday, November 8th, 2015, was Mr. Brightside by The Killers. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having a great Sunday tuning in. Sunday, it is a day when some people go to church, and Sunday, it is a day of rest. And for Sunday, for me, it's a day when I come to Arirang after getting lunch, and I talk to you guys, because, we do it every day, every weekend, all the time, 24/7, 365. 365, yeah, girl, fire. Ooh, I wanna, okay. Alright, so meanwhile, of course, we have our Sunday Corner Scribble, which is a corner for you to think freely and just doodle out your thoughts. Think of Music Access as a big notepad, and feel free to write in about anything and everything, whether it's questions, messages, comments, anything goes. Go ahead and share with us by writing Scribble on your title and sending in your message. Now here's how you can listen and participate. If you have a smartphone, you can download the Arirang Radio app or TuneIn Radio app to listen to our programs and send in your messages. And if you use a computer, just visit www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess to listen to us or leave your messages. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. And of course, song requests, y'all know what it is. Send in those song requests in a message. Just remember to keep it under the title, Request. Now we'll check out two songs before we dive into Scribble, starting with the song I Like It by Enrique Iglesias featuring Pitbull, followed with Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. I want to be with you, and if you feel the same, shall we meet here? Will you tell me your story? If you're shy, you can playfully scribble, and if you don't know where to start, you can start with the doodle and scribble. Good job, that's how we'll begin our story. I wanna be with you. Our Sunday Corner Scribble is just that. This corner's for you to think freely and just doodle out your thoughts. As a chance for you to be honest to yourself and think about what was hard, what was embarrassing, what was a proud moment, or anything at all from the past week, month, year, century, millennium. Go ahead and share with us by writing Scribble on your title and sending in your message. Alright, so let's go to our first message, which comes from Shreya Talukdar from Bangladesh, saying, Benji, happy Sunday. And yes, I always do put a lot of eyes. Do you know why I do this? Because if we meet someday, then I'll call you like this, and you'll recognize me easier. That's who I am. Another reason is, it's my style, so I just like to write Benji. There's so many eyes with lots of eyes. Anyways, I got some random questions for you. Number 1, if you could choose a superpower, what would it be and why? Number 2, which is more logical to follow, your heart or your brain? And number 3, do you think of yourself as being naughty or nice? I would say number 1, if I had to choose a superpower, I would have to choose the power of Eating as much food as I wanted without gaining weight. Eating as much food as I wanted, and the more food that I ate, the more kind of better body I would get. So I could eat chicken cheeseburgers. Chicken cheeseburgers? Where did that come from? Fried chicken or cheeseburgers and all that stuff all day and still maintain a six-pack. I think that would be a superpower everyone would be jealous of. Either that or flying or teleportation or the power to stop. No. Teleportation. I think that would be a cool time. Power. Teleportation. That's my thing. Number 2, which is more logical to follow, your heart or your brain? Well, you asked which is more logical to follow, and when it comes to logic, I believe a lot of logic comes from the brain. If you asked which do I prefer to follow, then I would probably say my heart. But then again, I'm trying to become a more logical person because acting on emotions gives you a lot of up-down. And although up is good, down is not quite as pleasant an experience. So, I'm working on getting a little bit more brainified, a little bit more of the cranial energy, you know what I'm saying? And when you ask if you think of yourself as naughty or nice, I would say I'm naughty. I'm not a nice guy. I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad man. Yeah, I'm probably a naughty dude. That sounds really weird. I'm a nice guy, but at the same time, I do naughty things once in a while. I sometimes bend the rules. So, yeah, I think that's who I am. Alright, so we're going to check out 2 songs as we continue on, starting with the song World of Our Own by Westlife, followed with the song My Cell of the Philippines requested Runaway by The Corrs. We just heard World of Our Own by Westlife, followed by Runaway by The Corrs. And we're here on Music Access. I'm Benji of B.I.G. and the memorable events that happened to you this week. Don't just go over them in your head, but try writing down your feelings by jotting your thoughts comfortably, just like you're doodling. We're sharing your thoughts here on Scribble Scribble, and our next message comes from Mylene of the USA saying, Benji, want to hear a funny story? This actually happened on Halloween. So this is like a little over a week ago. I went to a Halloween event/party with my cousins. I got home and the door was locked. I didn't lock it and I'm not sure who did. Ooh, I was knocking at the door to see if my brother was inside, but no one was answering. I even texted him, but he didn't respond. I was able to open an unlocked window and climb in. I was scared that people might go call me out for looking like I was breaking in and entering someone's house. My uncle saw me and said, "What are you doing?" So I told them that I got locked out and I didn't have any keys with me. I looked like I was robbing a house on Halloween night. LOL. And that's the end of the message. I thought it was going to be like a scary story, but actually the scary story was not that scary. So, yes, I believe that was a good story, though. I'm sure breaking in and entering a house can be a very, very difficult thing to do, but I'm sure you can do it. I actually wanted to try breaking into a house one time, or not breaking into a house, but entering my house from the second floor, just to see if I could do it, just to be like, a very, a cat burglar / ninja. And the moment I tried to do it, my parents were like, that's very dangerous, so don't do it. And then I ended up not doing it. Cool story, right? I do my best to entertain you guys. Alright, so we're going to continue on with 2 songs as we continue on, starting with the song OMG by Usher featuring will.i.am, and Melody Pick of Thailand wants to hear We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. We just heard OMG by Usher featuring will.i.am, followed by We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. And our next message comes from Darcy Ann from the USA saying, My friend Dan was at my place for a visit and we both decided one thing. We realized that him coming was great, but only for a weekend is not enough time for us to enjoy each other's company. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Next time, somehow, we have to figure out how he can stay longer. I won't be seeing Dan until this coming summer, and I sure wish it was here already. Well, I don't know exactly how y'all are feeling about each other, but from the way you phrased the message, I feel like maybe y'all need to spend some more time together. I see sparks, or maybe I don't see sparks, because, I'm very far away, and I'm seeing sparks via a piece of paper and ink, but the way I see it, I feel like y'all are enjoying each other's company very, very much. So, I don't know. Jeez, I can't believe you can't see him until the summer. Hopefully, you'll see him before that and he'll get a chance to. But next time you see him, I guess maybe plan for a week. A week, I think, is a good period of time because a week gives you a lot of time. It gives each other also a day where he can enjoy the area by himself. And a week is just perfect for just time in general, meals together and all that stuff. You can even go on like a day trip somewhere. That's how long a week is. So, if you can get that week down, see if he can do it. Alright, so we're going to continue on with two more songs, starting with the song that Shreya of Bangladesh wants to hear, Bad Man by BAP, followed with Tanbal Mori by AOA. We just heard the song Bad Man by BAP, followed with Tanbal Mori by AOA. And our next message comes from Brisa from Brazil, saying, "Hi, I'll have a long presentation soon, but I feel very nervous speaking in public. Even though it'll be just my classmates and my teacher, I'm afraid that I'll forget everything and just stand in front of everyone with my mind all blank. Do you have any tips for this kind of situation?" Well, Brisa, do I have tips? When it comes to long presentations, what I gotta say is, you gotta have cue cards, have index cards, prepare something just in case your mind does go blank. But most importantly, I feel like when it comes to this kind of thing, one of the most important things is, remember, it's your classmates and your teacher. I had our debut stage, so we had our intro, our dance intro, and we had our title track. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. What's going to happen? What if I mess up? Everyone in Korea is going to see me mess up. And then I realized people don't watch other people perform to see them mess up. I mean, some people do probably, but those are the kind of people that normally do that anyway. But it's more in terms of, what can I do to make this more fun? And in terms of presentations, for me, when I was in school, I used to make little jokes. I used to crack little things because, I think one of the best parts about a presentation or watching someone on stage is seeing how relaxed they are and how professional they can be. And, part of that I think is humor. So, when you have to perform a presentation, make a cue card. If you have the time, maybe crack a joke. And most importantly, if you really feel nervous, eat a banana. If you have allergies to bananas, banana bread. Although, no, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I feel like, these are tips that help a lot of people get through tough times. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll do great. Breeze out fighting. Now we're going to check out two more songs as we continue on, starting with a song that Samantha of Australia requested, Rock Your Body by Vix, and Unita of Indonesia wants to hear Ulji Malja by And it's time to end the first hour. After a quick break, we'll continue on with Scribble Scribble in the second hour, introducing your messages and thoughts. We'll come back with the second hour after checking out the song that Mylene of the USA wants to hear, Someday We'll Know by Mandy Moore, featuring Jonathan Foreman. You're listening to Music Access with me, Benji of B.I.G., and our first song starting off the second hour of our show for Sunday, November 8th was Hey Soul Sister by Train. Now, of course, here's how you can listen and participate on Music Access. You can download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone, and you can also send us messages through the app using the comment function. You can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. Anywho, let's listen to two songs before we move on, starting with the song Firework by Katy Perry. I totally aced this song this past Wednesday, followed with Grenade by Bruno Mars. You're listening to the second hour of Music Access for Sunday, and of course we have our Sunday corner Scribble Scribble, which is just like using Music Access as a big notepad. Just as you jot down your ideas, thoughts, and what's been on your mind without thinking much on a notepad, send them in to us here so we can all share. It'll be your messages filling up this corner, so feel free to just jot down what's on your mind. And our next message comes from... And we actually have question time, so we're going to read a few questions as we continue along. Our first question comes from Anna from Malaysia saying, hey Benji, random question. What remains on the top of your current bucket list? So for those of you who may or may not know, a bucket list is a list that someone makes of things that they want to do before they die. On my bucket list, I have to eat a donut hamburger. I have to go bungee jumping one more time, because I did go bungee jumping once and it was a crazy experience that I definitely want to not do and at the same time do one more time. And actually, I want to, scratch bungee jumping. I want to try skydiving. I think that'll be super, super awesome and super just like, so yeah, skydiving. And getting number one on a music program. That's still on my bucket list, and getting on Billboard is still on my bucket list as well. There's a lot of stuff on my bucket list, actually, that, ultimate goals and whatnot. Also, I have to, sleep in a penthouse in New York City at some point just for one night. I have to get my own house. I have to get a family. I have to get a kid. My kid has to be the best baseball. No, I'm just kidding. We haven't planned out that far. But yeah, I think on top of my bucket list for now, besides number one on music programs and all that stuff, is eating a donut hamburger. I just want to eat a really, really good hamburger right now. Something about hamburgers and weekends go hand in hand, and that's what I want. So yeah. Alright, so hopefully that answered your question. And we're going to continue on by checking out two songs, starting with a song that Amber of the USA wants to hear, Memory by FT Island, followed with Bad Girl by Ihori. We just heard Memory by FT Island, followed by Bad Girls by Ihori. And our next question comes from Lena from the USA, saying, hey Benji, if you could be a girl for a day, what would you do? That is an interesting question. So, if I woke up and I looked exactly the same but I was a girl, then I probably wouldn't do anything differently, I feel like. I would probably still use the men's bathroom. I would probably still, wear whatever. But let's say I woke up and I was a total girl. So like, everything was gone. I had a female anatomy and all that stuff. And I was a pretty girl. Then, I don't know. I'd wake up and Minpyo would probably freak out because he's like, yo, where's Benji and why is there a girl here? And I'd probably mess with him a little bit, be like, oh my gosh, Benji, I don't know where Benji is, but who are you? Why are you in my house? Something like that. Then, all the other members would wake up, they'd all freak out, be like, who are you and you need to go? And then, so I'd probably, dress in some kind of Benji's clothes, whatever would I guess nothing would fit, though, because if I was a girl, I'd probably, I don't know, I have this image of myself if I was a girl. Not like I have this image of myself every day as a girl, but I just kind of, if I pictured myself turning into a girl, there's this kind of image that I have. And then go out, probably spend the entire day just resting, taking a break, and then probably go home. Because if I was a girl for a day, I have no idea what there is to do. I mean, what are you going to do? You eat the same food, you do the same stuff. I guess it would just be a day off, but I'd be a girl. That's it. There's not really a difference to that. I don't know if there would be any difference to that. Although I would probably call up some of my friends and mess with them. And just be like, hey, I'm Benji's girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. And then they'd be like, yo, they call me and I say, yo, I met your girlfriend. I was like, who are you talking about? I don't know a girlfriend. They're like, yo, it's that girl, that Bongji girl. I was like, who's Bongji? She's like a fake name that we use on radio for, men in music. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'll be like, I don't know who you're talking about, man. And then they'd be crazy, and then they'd be weird. And that would make for a very, very interesting situation, in my personal opinion. Although, that was a good question. I feel like if I was a girl for a week, that would be a different thing. Maybe I could be a girl group member for a day, then that would be an interesting question itself, but that was not the question posed, so ask me that question next time, and I'll give you a good answer. Alright, so we're going to check out two songs as we continue on, starting with the song Coffee by Yoo Jae-hwan and Kim Ye-rim, produced by G-Park, followed by 너를 그리다 by Radi and Dia and Brother Sue and Chu-young. We just heard the song Coffee by Yoo Jae-hwan and Kim Ye-rim, followed with 너를 그리다 by Radi and Dia and Brother Sue and Chu-young. And we have more questions coming in for our Scribble Scribble Corner. And our next message comes from Rosa from Turkey saying, what would you do if tomorrow was the last day on Earth? Why is everyone asking all these questions about last days, bucket lists? Gosh, it's such a... I mean, I appreciate the questions and all that stuff, but I mean, I haven't thought about it because I have so much to do in the future. So if tomorrow was the last day on Earth, I would probably only do Music Access. I'd stop by Music Access at about 1:50, do the show. Before that, I'd probably spend some time just chilling by myself. After that, I'd probably go and withdraw as much money as I can and go gambling. That's actually, no, that's a really bad thing. Don't go gambling, guys. Gambling is really bad. I would probably withdraw all my money and go on a shopping spree, buy myself a really nice outfit, because the problem is this. I want to go home and see my parents in Seattle, but by the time I get to Seattle, I figured out a cheat code. So, if I take a plane from Korea to Seattle, that means I arrive 1 hour before I left time-wise, which means this is how it works. I wake up, I buy the first ticket I can to Seattle. I take the plane there. Of course, I'm going to go business or first class. I mean, it's the last day on Earth. Money's not an object. Arrive in Seattle an hour before I came, spend the day with my parents, eat a good dinner. It's probably going to be pizza, because I like pizza, pepperoni pizza. And then that will be a good ending. Be with my parents, chilling in Seattle, having a good time. And, drinking champagne. Because, why not? It's the end of the world. Get that, the good bubbly. Because, why not? It's the end of the world, Live with no regrets, die with no regrets. So, I feel like that would be a good plan. I figured out a cheat code. Wow, I'm pretty smart. Alright, so that was my cheat code for the world, and I hope that answered your question. I'm going to continue on with 2 songs as we continue on. We're going to listen to Lonely by B1A4, followed with 괜찮아 사랑이야 by Davichi. We just heard Lonely 없구나 by B1A4, followed by 괜찮아 사랑이야. It's okay, it's love by Davichi. And it's time for our next message for Scribble Scribble, which comes from Junko from Japan, saying, your song 타올라 대박, I'm so nervous, are you? What did you feel when you first heard it? And who do you think improved the most out of your members while preparing for your comeback? Don't lose too much weight, you look great just the way you are. Love you, Benji. I would say, well, these are like interview questions. These are questions y'all gotta ask when the song comes out. If I answer all these questions already, these are all spoilers. And honestly, it's like, okay, think of it this way. You're gonna watch a movie, right? You've seen all the trailers for the movie. You've seen everything come out. It's awesome. Everything looks great. But then someone's saying, they're giving you a synopsis of the movie before you actually watch it. You'll know the plot, and the movie, of course, is going to be fun, but like the twist endings, in the movie with the lightsabers, when the main character finds out that the villain is his father. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, and I just spoiled the series for you, I'm sorry. I just ruined a whole generation of movies for you, but that's okay. You can watch it. It's still good, and I didn't spoil everything. But okay. If I do it without giving away too many hints, when I first heard it, I was like, ooh, this song is very, very powerful. And it's very, very different from what we've promoted so far, because we've had some very interesting concepts. We had the whole Korean introduction song. We had, I didn't know this at the time, but 준비됐나요 is something in Korea, like it's a cultural thing, In elementary school, people go, 준비됐나요? And they go, 네, 선생님, or yes, we're ready, teacher, and stuff like that. That's a thing. I didn't know that, but that's a thing at the time. For this song, it's very strong, it's very good, so I'm very interested to see how people will react to it. I'll put it that way. And who improved the most out of our members while preparing for our comeback? I'd say we all improved very much, but this time around, I can't say who specifically, but someone recorded a part, and I'm very impressed with how it turned out. So hopefully, when you guys listen to the song, you'll know who I'm talking about. Because that person, it sticks out very much. And we have Aaron Johnson from the USA saying, 안녕 Benji, thank you for talking to Muji about Tao and Mao. These are the 2 pandas that she has. The 2 bears, rather. I'm so glad that he wants to be friends with the 2 of them. Please tell him to take care, and we can set up a playdate if we ever come to Korea. 사랑해, adorable sweetie, Rose. So, Muji, we mentioned that you have 2 friends waiting to meet you, and he was all like, yeah, I'm so ready to meet them. And, of course, Muji always welcomes new friends. Remember, we don't restrict to just bears. We also welcome any animal you might want, whether it's, a bat, an elephant, a giraffe, a penguin, even koala bears. We don't discriminate against any animals. We love any and all animals. So, if you guys have any animals you want to show, go ahead and send in the pictures, and we'll introduce them to Muji as his new friends. Alright, so we're going to continue on by checking out two songs, starting with the song She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5, followed with Because of You by Kelly Clarkson. We just heard She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5, followed by Because of You by Kelly Clarkson. And thank you guys so much for sending in your messages for Scribble Scribble. Remember, if you want to send in a message for Scribble Scribble, you can send in about anything and everything. We welcome all messages. And you can send them in via the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app via the comment function or by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/music access, and leave your messages there under the title, Scribble. Alright, so it is time to say goodbye. So our last song that we're going to listen to today is Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. This was Benji of B.I.G. and as always, I'll be back.